It's like, I'm still curious. Who is our shard on the 13th? I think it'd be nice if it was 0. But it could always be anyone else. Alrighty. We're gonna have to save the old man. It's far too dangerous for a civilian to be outside alone. We must go after Lord Matthias. Let us leave matters here in Maxima's care while the rest of us join in the search. If Lord Matthias is bound for Sintis, we may be able to catch up with him in Regio Urbanasium. I pray he has not come to any harm. Time to run, or fly, or whatever we're doing. Da 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 da. Holy hell. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Holy hell. My brain just thought of freaking Amarat. And no joke, it really, Garlemald probably was based on Amarat. Oh, here you are. Getting yourself into trouble, I see. You good, old man? I mean, we did try to warn you. I'm alive. Probably, but just barely. Bum 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 bum.
Praise the sisters, you are safe.
Yeah, voice acting. What does this old guy sound like?
Don't think I'm indebted to you. I never asked for your help.
Of course. Of course.
You love Garlemald dearly, Lord Metius. That much is plain. But you're not alone in that. We all mourn what has become of our homeland. Bristle at having to rely upon outsiders simply to survive the cold. Even now, I struggle with fear and uncertainty. Day after day, I ask myself, what is right? Where do we go from here?
Why does the voices sound so weird this patch?
I've yet to find the answers. But I won't stop looking nonetheless. And I won't avert my gaze from our grim reality.
Is there hope for us?
Aye, so long as we live. Garlemald lies in ruins, but the bonds between us will never be broken.
I mean,
We are the chain that connects generations past and future. You and I, it's links. Help us, Lord Metius, for all we have been and for what we may yet become. Please.
I mean, he's got a point. The Garlemald flag does have chains, and we learned all about its meaning and how the red is the blood spilt.
To be lectured by the young, it ill becomes a man of my station. I will rejoin the talks at Tertium. Might I trouble you to escort me? ere we part, I apologize for my discourtesy. I owe you my life, and I thank you.
Euless, wait. I'd like a word. With you as well. I'm to stay close, after all.
Worry not, we shall see the magistrate safely back to Tertium.
Yeah, he should be fine. He's got a healer in a tank. He'll be fine.
What is it?
You bound that man with trust, didn't you? That's why he did not require coercion to return.
Shall we walk, perhaps? Chilly, standing around here.
Watching Zero learn how our world works is just amazing.
So that's how Zero came to join you.
Yay, we told him the entire story. Great.
Still, I'm not sure I'm qualified to explain something like trust. I wouldn't describe myself as a sociable person. Before all this, any free time I had, I spent looking after my brother and sister. As for the magistrate, I only told him what's been on my mind of late. But I wouldn't have done so, I think, if it weren't for the twins' influence.
The twins are rubbing off on you.
Trust is infectious, in a manner of speaking. When someone believes in you, it makes you want to believe in them, in others, in yourself. Perhaps it's because the magistrate felt that earnestness that he gave us a chance. As I did, after I was caught trying to steal provisions from the enemy. Trust comes easy in such company.
It also swings the other way. Distrust breeds more distrust. Joy.
Little wonder my world is devoid of it. No one trusts in you, and so you trust in no one. And round the wheel turns. During the Contra Memoria, we had already come to judge one another based on strength and usefulness. You either used or were used. Those who rejected this rule didn't survive. My mother wanted to save the world, to fulfill the hopes of Memoria's good and true. After she died, I carried on her mission alone.
Alone? Didn't you have anyone to help you?
Almost. 2 men tried just the once. A swordsman and a mage, whom I met when passing through a village. They had saved the people there from corrupted Memoriates. When they learned our enemies were the same, they seemed heartened. They claimed to be soldiers of a kingdom called Baron, and were traveling the realm in search for means to end the Contra Memoria. They invited me to join them. I refused. How could I not, having learned the lessons of my world? Those who would work with others always have their own motives. I would not place myself at their mercy. I would not be forced to submit. I expected some manner of outburst, some show of frustration at having failed to deceive me. But they simply watched me walk away. I didn't know what to make of it then, but now... Perhaps they shared a bond of trust. Perhaps they were the last ones left who dared. Perhaps they hoped I was like them, too. Perhaps it was just an offer, and nothing more. I continued fighting alone. But ultimately, I was undone. Overwhelmed by enemies that had banded together. I was cold, in pain, wishing desperately that someone would save me. And as I lay there in solitude, I felt it happen. The breaking of our world. Darkness washed over me, and I was swept into the rift. When I finally managed to return, it was to a world forever transformed. My home, now filled with abominations. I had a chance to learn about trust, and forsook it.
Know what? This is actually an interesting thought that occurred to me. Do you imagine Azim felt the world split apart like Zero did? What if this is kind of explaining that in a way as well? Because it's always been like, well, I think a lot of people think about it, or at least some of the ones I've spoken to, who also play, and we do theories about Azim. We always think Azim never went to either side, refused to join Vanah, and became sundered. Now, Zero's story is sounding a lot like what you'd expect from Azim, except that since the world's so dark, it wouldn't... Like, for half a second, I was like, Zero wishing for someone to appear and summon and help. I don't know. It's like, I'm still curious. Who is our shard on the 13th? I think it'd be nice if it was Zero. But it could always be anyone else.
I never had the power to save my home single-handed. I should have accepted their invitation. Had I joined them as I've joined you, I might not have had to face the end of the world alone.
And see, this is another thing that we always face. Like, at the end of Endwalker, what did we do? We faced the world alone. We forsook our friends and got them away and faced the end alone. Until we didn't. Because, of course, we always summon people to our side, somehow. With the power of Azim. Old ancient magics.
But it's all history now. No amount of reflection or regret will change our present reality.
Whatever may have happened in the past, you're still here, Zero. Alive. So long as you're alive, there will always be hope, no matter how bad things get. What you couldn't do yesterday, you might still do today. Think about it. It's plain that you've forged bonds with those around you. If you didn't feel that in some sense, Would you have risked your life as you did for a meager ration of boots? I trust you too, for what it's worth.
Here it is again. The fire that burned in my breast when you came to my rescue. The urge to weep, though there is no sorrow. If this is trust, then what must I do? How do I answer it?
It varies from person to person, however you like.
Give me your hand. It's not something you do constantly, mind. A friend is a friend regardless.
A friend. So that's what it means. Someone you trust.
Oh god, are we gonna learn more? Are we gonna learn more? Xenos, are we gonna learn more? Please tell me. Please tell me. Do we get to learn more about Xenos this patch? I want to know more. Xenos appearing in a flashback. What are we gonna learn? What are we gonna learn? Please, 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 please. We gotta learn more about Xenos this patch now. You can't do that and not tell us more about what Xenos was saying. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Hold on, let me just move this up. Yay. Thank you. I feel at last, though, I found the answer I sought, and I owe it all to you and Euless. Right, then. I expect the others have already made it back to Tarim. We should join them. I think it's actually Turtum, but I forget how to pronounce stuff so easily in this game. It goes... I'm focused on the story and theories. Gosh. I wish it was voice acted. Full glad am I to see everyone return and none the worse for wear. Various representatives of the Gallian community are gathered here this very moment. I dare say it's a fine opportunity to announce the trade agreement. You've read the memorandum. I trust you find the terms acceptable. I do, and Neas, I pray you forgive my disgraceful conduct earlier. I am ashamed not only of my behavior, but of placing the burden of negotiations solely on your shoulders in my absence. You should know that when we brought up the subject of the tower's reactivation to the people at the Tapper's Inn, some reacted quite strongly. Once we explained that it would be to prevent another void invasion, however, they were more receptive. It is fair to say the recent episode is still fresh in their minds. I tagged along to deliver a supply of ceruleum. Have to say, I didn't expect to see such a large crowd. Even the stuffy Imperials who normally keep to themselves in Sintis are here. My friends and countrymen, lend me your ears. I am pleased to inform you all on this joyous occasion that we, the people of Garlemald, have entered into a trade agreement with Razatan. To inaugurate our accord, we intend to grant the individuals before you access to the Tower of Babel. In return, Razatan will provide us with supplies which shall be equally distributed among the settlements of our nation. Let me be clear on one point. This is not an act of charity, but trade, a bargain struck between equals, rooted in trust and respect, and it marks a significant step towards rebuilding our nation and regaining true independence. Razatan holds Gallian technology and ingenuity in the highest esteem. It is my hope that through this agreement our people will enjoy a mutually beneficial relationship for years to come. You're a dragon, so yeah, you can watch all this happen. Now then, we bid you gather around and hear the particulars that you might convey them to those elsewhere. So, burdened by hardship and trauma, were the people of Garlemald that they were unable to imagine a brighter future. And to be recognized as equals, a nation with something of value to offer others, that validation alone is enough to rekindle their hope. 'Tis by virtue of this partnership that we may access the Tower of Babel, a rather timely development given the Ether's tank's impending arrival. Once the tower's stores have been replenished, we need but await your stellar signal to channel the God, I can't talk. I am so sorry, guys. The energy to the moon, yes? Then you can leave that and anything else on this end to me and Alpha now. No need to worry. Devote all your energies to the mission in the void. As ever, I am in your debt. Zero just loves tipping her hat. Someone get me a fedora! I want to tip my hat! You are good friends. Zero, can I borrow your hat and pretend it's a fedora? Okay.